you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
There you go. Coldplay frontman Chris Martin and his wife Gwyneth Paltrow, they are splitting up, or as they put it, consciously uncoupling. And now you're thinking, what is that? Now, I'm saddened. We're talking about a marriage, 10 years, couple of kids, Apple 9, son Moses 7. But Gwyneth Paltrow, they made the announcement at Goop.com. It crashed the site. And here's part of the statement. It is with hearts full of sadness that we have decided to separate. We've been working hard for well over a year, some of it together, some of it separated, to see what might have been possible between us, and we have come to the conclusion that while we love each other very much, we will remain separate. It goes on to say, we have always conducted our relationship privately, and we hope that as we consciously uncouple and co-parent, we will be able to continue in the same manner. Okay, again, saddened they're splitting up, there's children involved here, but the headline for many is like, conscious uncoupling? What is that? That kicked off quite a debate in our news meeting. Check this out. Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband separating, or is there saying uncoupling? What does that even mean?
Mike, the correct word, the correct term is conscious uncoupling. They have 2 children together. They've been married for a decade. They said they have been having trouble for a year now. They've been trying to work out.
You don't really care what people think about it. You wouldn't give it this beautiful box and put it in a wrap it up and say, we're not divorcing, we're consciously uncoupling.
Because divorce does have such a bad, it feels long, it feels wrong. You just feel like 2 couples are fighting, and the whole thing is that they've been working on it for a year and that they're consciously deciding to separate.
Average Americans might think, you know what, I may be divorcing, but you're uncoupling. Then that's what tees people off.
I've had an accidental breakup. That's the opposite of the conscious uncoupling.
All right, so there you go. Let's bring in celebrity journalist David Caplan. You can check out more of his work at davidgossip.com. What do you make of the conscious uncoupling, David?
Well, I didn't know Gwyneth speak before this, but I researched it, and it's an actual sort of therapy. It was created, the notion of conscious uncoupling, it was created by this author, Catherine Thomas, and essentially what it is, it's a 5-week program for couples who are in the midst of splitting up, in which you, quote, reclaim the power to reclaim your life, and you split up in a, quote, manageable and healthy way. So that's sort of the jargon for it. So there is an actual real premise behind it. Gwyneth Paltrow, she's very much into all these sort of practices. She's very holistic. But basically, they're splitting. This has been a split. I think that was, many months coming. But at least she's doing it in this sort of methodical kind of way. I think it sort of shows her type A personality, that she's doing it by some sort of structure.
Yeah, and it's part of it. It's a healthier way to split. We're not finger pointing and things like that. But it was wildfire on Twitter. You know what the hashtag was? Conscious uncoupling. Let me read a couple of tweets. Here's one from Lindsay. It is with a heart full of sadness that I've decided to consciously uncouple from my desk to get lunch. Love me. And then Frederick, I so hope the name of the next Coldplay album is actually, it was just a divorce. One more from Jillian. She says she hopes Gwyneth doesn't turn to gluten during these trying times. Real quick, what's with Gwyneth Paltrow and all the animosity toward her? What do you make of it? And it's because I'm not seeing sympathy. It's more people jabbing at them for the conscious uncoupling. Real quick, David.
Yeah, I think, Gwyneth Paltrow, a lot of people, they don't like her. She's an easy target. They perceive that she perceives herself as a little bit snobby, better than other people. And I think, when you're an actress of that ilk, much like Anne Hathaway, who also has a lot of haters, they get that sort of thing. You know what? When you don't understand something, that's when you get the haters, and that's what's happening here.
David, thanks again. Appreciate it. All right, coming up next, my interview with